Salam everyone, and thank you so much for joining us this evening to celebrate these accomplished graduates of the University of Michigan. First, I would like to thank Laith Alatar for the beautiful oud performance. He has been a part of our ceremony for several years now, and his dedication to this university's students has truly been felt by all of us. Thank you. My name is Layla Dumke, and I have had the honor of serving as this year's lead student coordinator for the Middle Eastern and North African Student Celebration. My fellow committee members and I have worked year-long for this event, and we are so excited to be here tonight. This is actually my third year working on this ceremony, and watching it grow has been one of the most meaningful parts of my time at Michigan. Class of 2026, to say the least, our community has been through a lot during our time here, but the fact that we are all gathered here tonight, together, is not a small thing. It is resilience. As a fellow graduate, I am grateful to give back to our community through the MENA celebration and recognize the accomplishments, work, and sacrifices each and every one of us has made to get here. Thank you for trusting me with this, and I hope tonight feels like the celebration you deserve. One last thing. None of this would be possible without my incredible committee members who poured their time, energy, and hearts into making tonight happen. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys. I'd also like to thank Hector Galvan for his guidance, time, and devotion to the students he serves. It does not go unnoticed. So now, before we begin our ceremony, we would like to acknowledge that the University of Michigan was founded through the Treaty of Fort Meigs in 1817, when the Anishinaabe and the Three Fires Confederacy of the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi ceded portions of their land so their children could be educated. Through these words of acknowledgement, their ancestral, traditional, and contemporary ties to this land and the founding of the university are renewed and reaffirmed. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nancy Khalil, who will be guiding us through the rest of this evening as our Master of Ceremonies. Nancy Khalil is an assistant professor in American culture at the University of Michigan with an appointment in its ethnic studies program for Arab and Muslim American studies. She is currently the faculty chair of the Islamophobia Working Group at the University of Michigan, as well as the founding director for the Research Lab on U.S. Muslims and Higher Education. She also serves as a board member for Pillars Fund. She has a PhD in anthropology from Harvard University and an MA in higher education administration from Boston College. Prior to academia, she worked for several years in student life, including overseeing student diversity programs and initiatives, such as the Muslim chaplain at Wellesley College and advisor to Wellesley's multi-faith living and learning community. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Khalil to the podium.
Marhaba, welcome. I'm Nancy Khalil, and I am honored this evening to serve as your humble MC for tonight's ceremony. We're here to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduating MENA students. 1,000 congrats, or Alf Mabrook. And I'm going to make this slightly interactive throughout the evening. When I do this, I would like everybody to say, Alf Mabrook. Let's practice. Alf Mabrook. Excellent. At this time, I would like to first recognize our distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and members of our esteemed platform party, as well as all of those who helped with the planning of this evening's celebration, particularly Hector Galvan, without whom this program could never happen every year. He does deserve a round of applause. We appreciate each and every one of you and all of your many contributions to the success of our students. As we begin our ceremony, I'd like to share the theme statement that was thoughtfully created by our student planning committee to help guide and ground this moment of celebration. On behalf of the 2026 MENA Celebration Planning Committee, I share. Today is a milestone shaped by years of persistence, sacrifice, and determination. Each graduate has arrived on their own path, carrying stories and responsibilities extending far beyond this moment. Graduates, this achievement is yours, but it is also shared with the people and communities who made it possible. None of us got here alone. Behind every graduate is a network of care, whether that be family, friends, or mentors who showed up again and again. Many of us know what it means to rely on one another, to build connections wherever we are, and to carry pieces of home with us, even when home is far, when it is fragmented, or when it is no longer the place that we once knew. Because of that, our community has never been passive. It is something we build, protect, and carry forward. Gathering, for us, is more than just being in the same place. It's how we stay connected. It's how we remember who we are. It's how we take care of one another. At a time when our identities are misunderstood and challenged, coming together becomes something more. It becomes an act of recognition, of resistance, of holding space for each other in ways the world does not always offer us. So what do? We turn to one another, as we always have. مجتمعنا هو قوتنا. Our community is our strength. Community is where we return in moments of joy and in moments of hardship. It is built in everyday acts of checking in, showing up, and making space for one another. Even something as simple as sitting together, sharing a coffee, and being present becomes meaningful. In those moments, we create belonging. We remind each other that we are not alone. As we move forward, we will continue to build community wherever we go. Most importantly, we will continue to persist together. مجتمعنا هو قوتنا. Shukran, or thank you, to the student leaders who took the time to plan this ceremony and craft that beautiful message that I just shared with you all. At a time when many of our families' homes are under attack, and some of us have lost loved ones, being in community is most definitely our strength. It is also our shield. Together we are protected. In community, our cultures endure, and in community, our traditions remain. And in insisting to celebrate our accomplishments, we keep community forever alive. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite the Vice Provost, Angela Dillard, to deliver our welcome remarks for the night. Angela Dillard is Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education and Interim Vice Provost of Access and Opportunity. Across both areas, she works with multiple teams of faculty and professional staff to center the goals of access and opportunity, especially for pre-college learners, and academic success, wellness, and belonging for all our students. As Vice Provost and Interim Vice Provost, she is specially charged with bringing aspects of the National Student Success Movement to Michigan, and she's also responsible for advancing continual improvements in the educational experience for more than 35,000 undergraduate students in partnership with undergraduate serving schools and colleges on our Ann Arbor campus. As a member of the faculty, Dr. Dillard is the Richard Meisler Collegiate Professor of Afro-American and African Studies and in History. She's an interdisciplinary scholar who specializes in American and African American intellectual history, particularly around issues of race, religion, and politics, on both the left and the right sides of the political spectrum. Please help me to welcome Dr. Dillard to the podium.
Of course, I personally know all 35,000 plus undergraduates here, so it's good to see you again. Good evening. On behalf of Provost Lori McCauley, and all of us lucky enough to be members of the Provost Office area known as Access and Opportunity, it's a pleasure to offer my welcome and my congratulations. What a treat to be with you as we recognize our class of 2026 graduates and celebrate the graduation of our Middle Eastern and North African student community at the University of Michigan. And I'm so happy to be joined on the platform by some of my assistant vice provosts here, and you guys can wave and look lovely. Nice. Without them, the work of Access and Opportunity, which is how the university is figuring out our post-DEI universe, it just wouldn't be possible, and I'm really fortunate to have them with me this evening and with all of us. The University of Michigan's first Middle Eastern and North African student celebration was held in 2015, and the number of students participating in this event continues to grow year over year. We are proud that this celebration continues to acknowledge the accomplishments of our MENA student community. To the families, friends, and loved ones and those cheering from afar, this accomplishment belongs to you too. Your support, your sacrifices, and your belief made this moment possible. Thank you all for all that you have done. Graduates, this is one of many celebrations you will attend this week. From Michigan Stadium, where we will award our 1 millionth degree, to departmental ceremonies, you are being recognized across this campus, and I hope you are taking the time to fully embrace it. Milk it for all it's worth. Savor the sweetness. You've earned it. And we know that the institution did not always make it easy. My late godmother, Clementine McLean, someone I admired deeply and loved fiercely, used to say that if you want to cultivate wisdom, you should start by asking questions and by listening more than you speak. If time and space permitted, I'd love nothing more than to sit together with all of you and ask some questions. Questions like, what has this journey really been like for you? Not just the highlights, the friends you made, the awards you received, mastering new concepts, new languages, the nerdy but cool professors you met, or maybe even the national championships that you got to celebrate. But what about the moments when things didn't go as planned? The classes that didn't click, the times you doubted yourself, the moments when the institution let you down, the days when you just didn't feel like showing up. As someone who specializes in leading collaborative efforts to broaden access, deepen opportunity, and foster student success across the capacious higher ed landscape that is the University of Michigan, it's a second set of questions and answers that intrigue me the most. While graduation ceremonies are often about success, and rightfully so, I want to spend a few minutes asking us to reflect on the F word, the other F word, failure. It probably doesn't find its way into too many graduation addresses, but maybe it should. Nelson Mandela once said, "Don't judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." That's a powerful reframing. It suggests that failing isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. Because if we're honest, success alone doesn't shape us. Character is built somewhere else. It's built in the setbacks. It's built in risking failure and defeat because you refuse to take the easy way out, seeking to do what's right as opposed to what's expedient. So here's my advice to you on the occasion of your commencement. Fail. Not carelessly, not without intention, but bravely. Or as Denzel Washington put it, if you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. I think all of us gathered here this evening know the harder truth. Failure, or more broadly, struggle, is not optional in life. No matter how thoughtful we are, how prepared, how talented, we cannot engineer a life that avoids disappointment, loss, or uncertainty. We can do everything right and still encounter moments that shake us. That's not a flaw in the system, that is the system. And while that may sound discouraging, there's something important on the other side of it. Struggle also has potential. Again, I'm not telling you anything that we don't already know. When things fall apart or when we fall short, it has a way of revealing what really matters to us. It clarifies what we value, where we've placed our confidence, and what we're made of. Pressure doesn't just test us, it teaches us. It can humble us. It can deepen our self-awareness. It can make us more compassionate, more grounded, more resilient. It can strip away what doesn't matter and leave behind something stronger, more honest, more durable. But that outcome isn't automatic. Failure can just as easily make people bitter, stuck, or disengaged. The difference comes down to how we respond. So what does this mean for us to respond well? First, we ought not to pretend that we're unaffected. There's a temptation, especially among high achievers, like yourselves, to push through, to keep a stiff upper lip, to act like nothing phases you. Leaders and best. But growth doesn't come from denial. It comes from engagement and being accountable to ourselves and others. When something hurts, acknowledge it, learn from it, Sit with it long enough to understand what it's trying to teach you. Second, we need to hold fast to our values, both the ones that we came here with, derived from our families and our cultures, and those we have refined through experience and judgment. In difficult moments, it's easy to justify shortcuts, to do things that pull you away from who you want to be. Character isn't built when things are easy. It's revealed when things are not. And finally, keep going. The most remarkable thing about all of you here today is not that your path was perfect or easy. It's that you stayed on it. You adjusted, pivoted, and showed up again and again, sometimes under the harshest of circumstances. You learned, recalibrated, and moved forward. That's not just persistence, that's leadership. And you are the leaders that the world needs now. I know you're likely to hear that phrase often across the ceremonies that you attend this week. It's a familiar refrain, and one that institutions like ours return to with some regularity and self-congratulatory ways about the wonderful young people that we help to produce. It can sound cliche at times, but that doesn't mean it isn't also a perfectly correct statement of fact. More than one thing can be true simultaneously. Our world is a hot mess, with sea levels rising, poisonous chemicals accumulating, violent forms of policing, mass incarceration, environmental injustices, social decay, authoritarian politics, and heartbreaking moments of beauty and joy and human solidarity. We don't just need your accomplishments. We need your curiosity. We need your courage. We need your willingness to take risks. And yes, we need your bold and epic failures. Hail to the fail. Try things that might not work. Take paths that aren't guaranteed. Fall down and get back up again. And when you do, know that you are not starting over, you are starting wiser. My graduation wish for you is that you leave this place as alums infused with pride, with purpose, and with a deep belief that you belong in every space you enter, knowing full well that you have the power to transform those spaces for the better. Thank you for all that you have given to the University of Michigan. Congratulations, class of 2026, and as always, go blue.
Thank you, Dr. Dillard, for your words. And we thank you for your continued work and commitment to supporting access and opportunity and student success efforts across our campus. Next, I have the honor to welcome Judy Farache, the ASA co-president, who will be delivering a message as a student leader on our campus. Judy, welcome. Judy is a graduating senior in the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts, majoring in international studies with a minor in political science. Born in Kuwait and of Lebanese origin, she moved to Michigan in 2018. Me too. This past year, she served as the co-president of the Arab Student Association, where she worked to build community and advocate for Arab students on campus. Judy plans to pursue a career in law after graduation. Welcome, Judy.
Marhaba everyone. Thank you all for being here with us this evening. My name is Judy Farache, and this past year I had the honor of serving as co-president of the Arab Student Association here at UMich. As a Lebanese immigrant who spent this past year leading the Arab community on campus, I've noticed that success tastes different when you carry your culture and heritage with you. That taste comes from a fruit whose tree has been planted generations ago, a tree watered by the sacrifices of our families and communities in anticipation of this event. We may fall into the trap of viewing our graduation as just another individual milestone, when in reality, it is a monument of our community's resilience. But even as we celebrate these milestones and victories together, our hearts are heavy. As we sit here in our caps and gowns, we cannot afford to forget the class of 2026 back home who are unable to graduate with us due to the ongoing injustices and bloodshed. From Lebanon to Palestine, to Iran to Syria, to Yemen to Sudan and to the Khalij, so many, including our loved ones, continue to endure unimaginable hardships. Tonight, we celebrate, but let us not forget that with our success comes immense responsibility. The responsibility of utilizing our privilege to provide a voice for the unheard. The responsibility of acting in a manner such that your community may take pride in the person that you have become. The responsibility of resisting against a narrative and a world that seeks to undermine the sacrifices of our generations of your family. The weight of such responsibility is immense, but it is not meant to be borne alone. In the Arab Student Association, I found the ground beneath my feet. I found the community to help process and navigate the emotions that come with both our identities and the realities around us and capable of achieving as one. Together, we've discovered our potential and what we're capable of achieving. We've learned what it means to be unified, to grieve, to organize, to amplify our voices and demand change. This community has been a lifeline, always reminding us that we are never alone. Even amidst the intensified adversity, we have found power in standing side by side. Just weeks ago, Dearborn attorney Amir Meklid won a victory with a seat on the UMich Board of Regents, giving our community a voice in decisions that shape this university's decisions. Reminding us that our collective voices can create change. Many have lost hope, but let this victory remind you that after dusk comes dawn. As we prepare to assume new roles in our lives, whether grad school, a new job, or simply taking a step back, I urge you to carry with you this community and take it wherever you go. The challenges we face as Arabs in America may intensify, but we face them together, and together we are more powerful than we can imagine. To Hector, thank you for the commitment and care you've shown in building and holding this community together. And to Nadia Bazzi, who couldn't be here with us today, thank you for being a pillar of strength and unwavering support that has kept this community going. To the friends, family, members of our community in this room, thank you. Thank you for all of your strength, for all of your sacrifices, and for all you have done to make this day a reality for us, a reality that we are lucky to share together. Finally, to my mama and baba, thank you. You taught me to hold on to my culture, my language, and my identity with pride. Every sacrifice you made, every prayer you made, brought me to this moment. I carry you with me in everything that I do. Class of 2026, Alf Mabruk. You should all be extremely proud of yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Judy, for the wonderful words and your admirable leadership as a student on this campus. Now, before I have the pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, I would love to take a moment to acknowledge and honor some of the people that we have in this room. Can we first get a loud round of applause for our students in the crowd who are the first in their families to have attended and graduated college? Can we get another loud round of applause for our faculty, staff, and students who helped put on the ceremony tonight? And lastly, to our graduates, as you know, in Mina culture, family, and especially parents, have a special honor. They sacrifice so much of themselves for our opportunities. And in that tradition, tonight, for the parents, for the grandparents, the siblings, the greater families, the friends, and the loved ones that have supported you throughout your journey at the University of Michigan, can we give the loudest round of applause? To every person in this room, your commitment to being a student, a mentor, a leader, or a supporter does not go unnoticed. We appreciate you and are honored to have you here with us on this humbling night. And now I'm privileged tonight to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Ruba Ali Fahmi. Dr. Ali Fahmi is a professor of pathology at the University of Michigan and director of breast pathology and the Breast Pathology Fellowship. She also serves as Director of Global Pathology and Laboratory Medicine and is actively involved in global health through Michigan Medicine's Global Reach and the Center for Global Health Equity. She previously served as Vice Chair of Pathology at Karmanos Cancer Institute at Wayne State University. A dedicated educator and researcher, Dr. Ali Fahmy has over 150 peer-reviewed publications with NIH-funded work in breast and gynecologic pathology and has mentored numerous students and trainees. She has pioneered research on Arab American health, including obesity, HPV prevalence, and COVID-19 vaccine attitudes, work she presented at the White House in 2021. She is a former president of both the Michigan Society of Pathologists and the National Arab American Medical Association, and is the founder and current co-chair of NAMA Next Gen, an organization that brings together Arab American healthcare students and supports them in achieving their goals. Welcome, Dr. Ali Fahmy.
Assalamu alaikum. Alf Mabruk. That's beautiful. What a joyful day, and I'm honored to be with you today. 3 years ago, I was sitting exactly where many of you are today, celebrating the graduation of my twin boys, Amar and Ziyad. Like you, they had worked very hard to earn that seat, and it was the beginning of their next chapter. I'm very proud they are both in medical school, and so wishing you all great success as you enter your next chapter. I'm a professor of pathology at University of Michigan, as it was mentioned, the director of breast pathology and global pathology, and I've had the privilege to serve as the president of National Arab American Medical Association and founding NAMA Next Gen, the student branch of NAMA. But long before any of that, I was a medical student in Damascus, Syria, dreaming of opportunity. I came to the United States alone, searching for better education and better life. Like many journeys, that was not easy. New country, new culture, new system. I was so fortunate to meet a mentor and Arab American physician, an NAMA member at the time. She helped me navigate my way to residency in a new country with a new custom and a new way of doing things. I became part of a community and met many people who were so supportive, and it opened many opportunities for me. Early in my career, I started a graduate research training program for international medical graduate for low-middle income countries. So they can become a stronger candidate for residency. They would come and work with me for 1 or 2 years. More than 60 students graduated from this program. I started this program to increase opportunities for students who had similar journey like mine. Today, I would like to share 2 stories of students who worked with me. The first is Bara Alouche, who was recommended to me by a NAMA colleague. In 2013, Bara graduated from Tishrin Medical School in a small city in Syria. Because of the civil war and the death of his father, he decided to go to the United States. At first, he was shy, uncertain, struggling with his English, but incredibly determined, smart, committed, hardworking person who loved to learn. He joined our program for 2 years, published few papers, helped organize few conferences in NAMA and pathology. He got into pathology residency at Wayne State. The first 2 years was really difficult for Bara. He struggled. I was worried about him, honestly. But with his perseverance, at the end of the second year, Bara gave one of the best lectures on ovarian carcinoma. In his third year, he got Best Residence Award. After finishing his residency, he did a fellowship in hematopathology. Currently, Bara is the chief of pathology of a hospital in Flint, Michigan. This is a huge accomplishment. This is a success story. I saw myself in Bara, and I trusted him to succeed. The second story. In 2020, I received an email from Rami Musallam, a recent graduate of medical school in Gaza. His credentials were outstanding, so I had to help him by sponsoring his working visa and enrolling him in our program. He had never traveled out of Gaza, but to come to Detroit, he had to go to Al-Qahira, Amman, Istanbul, and finally Detroit. He made it and joined our program for 1 year. At the beginning, it was difficult for Rami. The culture shock was real. Also, I was worried about Rami. He didn't know how to drive. He didn't have a car. But Rami was so pleasant and worked so hard. One of the fellow even taught him how to drive. Everyone loved Rami. He finished his internal medicine residency at Case Western Reserve in Cleveland and got into GI fellowship in Atlanta. Rami is another success story. I see myself in this young physician as a medical student from Damascus University. I always dreamed about the West and America. I dreamed of having better education and better life. I did not leave Syria like Bara because of the war. I left for a better life. I didn't go far first. I went to Germany and I did pediatric internship. I did not like Germany and I did not like pediatric. I went then. My dad supported me to go to the United States and join some of my Syrian classmates. I landed in Cleveland, Ohio. I did my residency in pathology at Case Western Reserve University. Then I moved to Detroit, starting my career at Wayne State University, and currently I'm professor of pathology here at University of Michigan. Like Bara and Rami, I've been on a journey that has taken me from Damascus, Syria, to Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's a journey you never know where it will take you, but when you work hard, follow your passion, connect and get support from your community, it will be successful. Whether it's by tapping into your network like Bara, a cold email like Rami, or my story, leaning on your Arab American and Nama community. My message to you today is simple. Community and connection open so many doors and opportunities for you. But hard work is what makes success possible. My motto is, hard work pays off. So, Alf Mabruk, congratulations class of 2026. Your journey, it just began. Alf Mabruk.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ali Fahmy, for your inspiring words. We appreciate you for taking the time to join us tonight, despite your very busy schedule, to celebrate our new graduates tonight in our community. Our next speaker that I take great joy in inviting to the stage is our student keynote, Ryan Mirza. Ryan Mirza is graduating with dual degrees as a Hale Scholar and recipient of the 2025 MLK Spirit Award. He has served on the Arab Student Association Board for 4 years, including as co-president during the 2024-2025 academic year. He has held executive roles in 4 other Arab campus organizations and represented the Arab community on the Dean of Students Advisory Board. He is the founder and director of the Wolverine Street Medicine Student and Alumni Branch and an ambassador to the School of Public Health Undergraduate Admissions Program and the LSA Center for Global and Intercultural Study. Following graduation, he will pursue a master's at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health with the goal of attending medical school to build a career as a physician focused on humanitarian health. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you, Dr. Khalid, for that very warm welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for making it here tonight. أتكلم بالعربي. Speak in Arabic. My mom shouts at me as I respond in English and just roll my eyes. I was born in Saudi Arabia and moved to Dearborn, Michigan when I was 7. So I was surrounded by Arabs, of course, familiarity. And in Dearborn, I had faces that mirrored my own, voices that spoke the same language, and traditions that required no explanation. But it was that sense of familiarity that I felt confined by. I thought I wanted something different. And if I'm being honest, I was embarrassed. Embarrassed that I wasn't born here. Embarrassed that my name, Riyan, was pronounced differently in Arabic. Embarrassed that I was Yemeni. So when I was admitted to the University of Michigan, I had no intention of bringing my culture with me. I was hell-bent on distancing myself from anything or everything Arab-related. Yet somehow, 2 days before Salam, my friends convinced me to sign up. And that decision changed the trajectory of my undergraduate experience. I walked in expecting to feel out of place, but instead, I felt seen. Not by escaping who I was, but because I finally stopped trying to. I had been running from myself. Riyan. The genuine support from the community I was meeting for the first time made me keep coming back. And over time, that turned into more. It turned into a commitment, and I went on to serve on the Arab Student Association Board for 3 years, with my final term culminating as co-president. Through that, I learned something very important. History is not the past. Because we are the history. We are physical manifestations of it. Our family names carry history. Being Arab, that means carrying names. But it's not just our names that we carry tonight. So tonight, our names are, of course, on these programs. They get called, we stand up, we walk on the stage. But there are names that won't make it here tonight. They will only be read once, etched into tombstones. So we're going to say them out loud. Let's take a walk through the cemetery. The first name reads Hind Rajab, May 2018 to January 2024. Hind was a 5-year-old Palestinian girl. She was hiding in a car, and on the phone with the rescue team, she cries out, Ana khaifa, ta'alu, I'm scared, please come. Hind was found dead in that car, shot by 355 bullets. The next name reads, Taleen Saeed, October 2024 to this month, April 2026. Taleen was an 18-month-old Lebanese child. Her father was just killed by Israeli forces, so her family went to his grave to mourn him. And while they were there, Taleen and her family were murdered too. Taleen's grandfather has just one question for the world. Are we not human too? Next, Amal Hussein, 2011 to October 2018. Amal was a 7-year-old Yemeni girl. The only food she had was moldy breadcrumbs mixed with water. When doctors finally examined her, all they could say was, "No meat, only bones." Amal died of starvation. So Amal's story is not abstract to me. It's the exact story I heard growing up as my parents mourned the country they once knew. I have not experienced what Amal has, and I will never claim that I have. But I know that I am standing here at this podium, in this room, and she is not. Her name doesn't get to escape that tombstone. And Amal is not alone. We could just keep walking down this cemetery. There's always another name, another story, and another child who was gone and then forgotten. But we are here. We get to just walk out of that cemetery and walk up on the stage. So many of you guys may be thinking, how is that fair? Why me and not them? And as Arabs, we know this feeling all too well. But I'd like us to reframe. The question is not, why are we here when they are gone? The question is, what do we do with the life that we have? So I want us to stand at those tombstones for a moment. Let's read those names again. Hind, Taleen, Amal. They're names that sound like mine. Riyan, names that sound like yours. They are names that are ours, our language, our culture, and our people. So how dare I ever be shamed about that again? Because the cemetery is not just a metaphor. For many of the students here tonight and many of the parents, it's a reality that they've been living in real time. My peers from Palestine watch as the genocide unfolds back home. My peers from Lebanon open their phones to images of their villages bombed. My peers from Syria carry the weight of a brutal regime that lasted decades. My peers from Yemen grown up alongside years and years of famine. My peers from Sudan witnessed the world's largest humanitarian crisis unfold in front of them. And still, they show up. They come to class. They submit the assignment. They take the exams. All the while, their people are dying. And that is exactly what this community has done for years, largely unseen and largely unacknowledged by this university and this world. Since October 7th, 2023, this university has not felt like a place that is welcoming to its Arab students. Many of us have been silenced, surveilled, targeted on this campus. I've been spit on. I've been pepper sprayed. I've been beaten by campus police for participating in student activism while this university claims to champion and celebrate it. And I say that not for sympathy, but because it needs to be said here tonight as we celebrate. We need to recognize what it means to be Arab on this campus. And my experiences are not unique. My courageous peers who put themselves on the front lines of this movement have faced extreme and unjust consequences, the exact opposite of what this university should have been providing. So naturally, that support has come from one another. I've seen it at protests, where we show up for one another. I've seen it at vigils, where the community gathers to mourn a collective loss. And those are the most powerful things that I have witnessed here. What this community has been able to accomplish in absence of institutional support. So I came here trying to leave all of this behind, and it became the very thing I am most proud to be leaving with, more than any degree this university could have provided me. Before I close, I'd of course like to thank my family, Mama, Baba, Samer, and Mazen. My parents were born in Aden, Yemen, and are the most hardworking and inspirational people I know, who have sacrificed everything for their kids. Any accomplishment I ever achieve and any accomplishment I have achieved is a reflection of their character. And I know that sacrifice is not unique to my family, because every parent sitting here tonight has done the same for us to be here graduating. And to my graduating class, We showed up carrying grief, carrying responsibility, and carrying histories that most people in our classrooms could not begin to understand. But most importantly, we carry names: Hind, Taleen, Amal. So let them walk across the stage with us. That answers the question. That is what we do with the life that we have. We say their names, we don't let them be forgotten, and we use everything that this degree can give us to honor that. Being a Arab is a responsibility. Thank you all, and congratulations, class of 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Mirza, for those powerful words. When you and I met a few years ago, you were introduced to me as Ryan. Do I have your permission now to call you Rian? Thank you. The Mina community here is indebted to you for your time throughout the 4 years at this university and the work that you've done. Thank you, Rian. Now, the moment that you have all patiently been waiting many years for. We have the honor of recognizing our class of 2026 graduates. Committee members Mustafa Sharba, Zainab Hussein, and Dina Darwish, can you please come up to the podium so we can begin the class recognition? May all the graduates in the first row rise and follow your ushers to form a line.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mustafa Sharba, and I'm a junior here at the University of Michigan. I am beyond honored to present the Mina graduating class of 2026. Ryan Mirza. Layla Dumki. Rania Dano, Bachelor's of Degree in School of Public Health. Jude Youssef Sutton, Bachelor's from Ford School of Public Policy, Public Policy. Angie Galal Il-Badri, Middle Eastern Studies, Bachelor's from LSA. Mina Nasiri, Bachelor's of Science, Bachelor of Arts, College of Engineering, LSA, Mechanical Engineering, and Film, Television, and Media. Rasha Hamoudi, Bachelor's from LSA of Biochemistry. Aya Kabut, Bachelor's from LSA, Biology, Health, and Society. Aya Fayyad, Bachelor's degree from LSA in English. Mary Halal, Bachelor's in Science in Engineering, College of Engineering, Environmental Engineering. Ibrahim Bazi, Bachelor's from the College of Engineering and Information, Mechanical Engineering, and Information Science. Faris Sharba, Bachelor's from the Ross School of Business, Business Administration. James Reyes, Bachelor's from School of Nursing. Karim El-Danna, Bachelor's of Science from LSA, BHS in French Language and Literature. Ali Ghoul, Bachelor's in Science from LSA, Biophysiology, Cognition, and Neuroscience. Afif Jawad, Bachelor of Engineering, Computer Engineering. Ali Ayoub, Bachelor's from LSA, Computer Science. Hadi Al-Ghoul, Bachelor's of Science from LSA, Computer Science. Ali Hamoud, Bachelor's from LSA, Computer Science. Hadi Hamid, Bachelor's of Science from LSA, Computer Science. Jawad Nashar, bachelor's from LSA Computer Science. Nader Sharif, bachelor's from LSA Biomolecular Science and BCN. Ali Haidar, bachelor's of science from LSA BHS and Middle Eastern Studies. Mahdi Risk, bachelor's of science from LSA Computer Science. Hassan Hazimi, bachelor's of science from LSA Biomolecular Science. Leila Shihab, bachelor's engineering, electrical engineering. Noor Bazi, bachelor's of science from the School of Information, user experience design. Adham Adam, bachelor's from LSA Biomolecular Sciences. Samar Wael Salman, bachelor's of science from LSA Biology, Health and Society. Minatullah Al-Shurbagi, bachelor's of arts from LSA Psychology and Sociology. Ji-Hun Choi, bachelor's from LSA Political Science. Angelina Hamati, bachelor's from LSA Biochemistry. Munir Al-Sheikh, bachelor's of science, LSA Microbiology. Ali Allam, bachelor's, LSA in Information Political Science. Ahmed Al-Khatib, bachelor's of science, LSA Biophysiology, Cognition and Neuroscience. Ahmed Kaid, bachelor's, LSA Biomolecular Science. Zayed Omari, bachelor's from Engineering, Data Science and Engineering. Judy Farashe, bachelor's, LSA International Studies. Warood Imad Rumal, bachelor's of science, College of Pharmacy, Pharmaceutical Science. Farah Nidal Karim, bachelor's of science from LSA BCN. Esma Aidi, bachelor's, public policy, Ford School of Public Policy. Suhair Jamie Hulman, bachelor's of science from LSA Biomolecular Science. Amina Faris, bachelor's of science from LSA Biology, Health and Society. Yasmin Nimr, bachelor of arts, LSA Sociology and Social Work. Fatima Zaidan, bachelor's, LSA Biology, Health and Society. Hanan Hussein, bachelor's in science, School of Information, UX Design. Marwa Dalmi, bachelor's from LSA Biology, Health and Society. Aline Al-Hindi, bachelor's from Taubman College of Architecture and Urban Planning, Urban Technology and Real Estate Development. Sara Abdul Haq, bachelor's from LSA Biology, Health and Society. Hannah Dubaisi, bachelor's of arts from Ford School, Public Policy. Maryam Hamka, bachelor's from Ross School of Business, business with a minor in sustainability. Savannah Soma, bachelor's of College of Engineering, Biomedical Engineering. Celine Fawaz, bachelor's from LSA, Political Science, Law, Justice, Social Change minor. Maryam Al-Ahdan, bachelor's from School of Information, LSA, Computer Science and UX Design. Sara Bijani, bachelor's from LSA, Public Health and BCN. Huda Al-Nimr, bachelor's from the College of LSA, Biology, Health and Society. Raya Jaiber, bachelor's from LSA, Biophysiology, Cognition and Neuroscience. Adam Kasham, Badr Atwi. Ibrahim Qamhiye, bachelor's from LSA, Biopsychology, Neuroscience. Hamza Al-Naib, bachelor's of science from LSA, Neuroscience. Ali Atwi, master's from Ross School of Business, Management. Hiba Al-Tawel, bachelor's from LSA, Psychology and American Culture. Anna Jaiwook, master's from School of Social Work, Interpersonal Practice and Integrated Health, Mental Health and Substance Abuse. Reina Mazhar, master's of science, College of Engineering, Robotics. Zainab Al-Ghanem, Masters of Public Health, School of Public Health, Health Management and Policy. Farhiya Ahmed, Masters of Public Health, Nutritional Science, MPH. Ima Al-Rayeh, Masters from Rackham, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Tamet Beishat, Masters from the College of Architecture and Urban Planning, Architecture. Abdul Rahman Al-Hasni, Masters from Taubman College of Architecture and Urban Planning, Urban Planning. Sabrina Shadid, Masters from the School of Information, UX Design and Research. Muhammad Ali Kodeh, Masters from the College of Engineering, Computer Science. Hossein Yassin, Masters, Engineering, Aerospace Engineering. Ruba Aghur, Masters from the College of Engineering, Industrial Engineering. Mira Diab Al-Harakeh, Doctorate from the Rackham Graduate School, College of Engineering, Macromolecular Science and Engineering. Thank you, everyone, and please give another round of applause for the MENA graduating class of 2026.
One more. Excellent. What an honor to see all of our graduates recognized tonight. With your leadership in student organizations, research, in the classroom, and in the community, it's bittersweet to see you walk down the stage as our newest generation of graduates. If I can impart on you one last thought, or rather promise, it's that we will continue to uplift and uphold the years of effort that you have put into this campus and into our community. A community of great morality. And don't take that attribute lightly. As the famous Egyptian poet Ahmed Shawqi taught us over 100 years ago, إنما الأمم الأخلاق ما بقيت فإنهم ذهبت أخلاقهم ذهبوا. Nations are nothing but their morals, as long as they remain. If their morals go, they go. We owe our future successes and accomplishments to you and those before you. We hope that you remain in our community because that's our strength and our shield. And we hope that you return regularly to sit and have a coffee at one of the many burgeoning and beautiful Arab coffee shops around town. Before we let you all go, we would like to thank the 2026 MENA Planning Committee, the OAMI student staff, as well as other family and friends who helped to put on this celebration. It wouldn't be possible without you. And as we conclude the formal part of the ceremony, I ask that everyone in attendance here please join us with your families and guests in the Graduate Hotel next block over to enjoy some food, music, and take photos. Let's give our students one final in a big round of applause. At this time, I ask that the platform party and students please rise. Platform party, please lead our graduates out of the auditorium. Students, please follow out, starting with the first row. Alf Mabruk, everybody. Woo! Not the mic. Woo!